Good afternoon, everyone. And before we start speaking, our timer has already started. So we'll just keep this a very casual kind of a conversation because we come from an industry which is fun and we feed people and we just excite them. And just before lunch, we're going to talk about a lot of food here right now. So, before we start this session, can I just request you guys to just introduce yourselves and which brands are you presenting?
Sure. Hi, my name is Mazen Kanaan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of House of Pops, a healthy popsicle brand.
Hi, I'm Vidisha Batwal, owner of Paprika Gourmet, 13 years in India and now 4 years in Dubai.
Hi, my name is Tushar. I'm the CEO of Mr. Baker. We're a legacy cake brand of 30 years in the UAE.
And good afternoon. My name is Marcus. I'm the general manager of Zabila House by Jumeirah, located in the Greens. We're one of the, destination lifestyle boutique hotels within Dubai.
Thank you. So today we're going to talk about the harmony of human touch and technology in our respective industries, and also the evolution of hospitality, where we talk about the hotels and the F&B industry. I would love to know what your take is on the traditional service versus the tech-enabled experiences that our customers either experience or they don't experience. So maybe we start with Marcus.
So I think we're at a very interesting stage, specifically within hospitality and hotels. And obviously, when we talk about hotels, we're talking about rooms, food and beverage, spa, all sorts of different elements, make up the operations of a hotel. And I think at the end of the day, technology will never take away from the personal touch, but it will enable us to do our jobs better and be more efficient. And to a certain extent within hospitality, I know a lot of people think, will technology, will AI take away our jobs? Within hospitality, I do not believe that's the case. But it will enable us to be more efficient. And when we talk about efficiency in hospitality, we talk about obviously managing costs, but also allowing us to spend more time with the guests. And we talk a lot about personalization. So how can we use technology to better, curate an amazing guest experience? And how can we better engage with our guests through technology and free up time through efficiency to physically engage with our guests?
True. So say at City Max Hotels, we are about 3 to 4 star hotels. We fall in that category under the budget hotels. I don't really need a very high-tech system for my customers, but there's something that we're exploring like NFC cards with the in-app check-in. So that's fine. If I don't give a physical key to my guest or the customer, they can just scan the QR or the phone and open the room doors. But I still want people to welcome the guests. And so that human touch is still needed, right? What do you think, Tushar?
As a business that's fairly rooted in brick and mortar, I want to say that tech has been quite of a game changer for us. I remember building the first e-commerce platform around 8-9 years ago, and it was something like 2 to 3% of the top line. Now, obviously, it's a significantly larger percentage of top line, but I want to say that it has its caveats. Retail in itself has a much more holistic experience. You have touch, taste, smell, sight to play on, especially as a marketeer. The websites and e-commerce platforms obviously allow for a shorter cycle to close customers, but each to their own. I think somewhere in between is where you really want to be in this time and age.
True. So in the dine-in landscape, I still remember, I'm not sure how many of us miss the physical menus in the restaurants. In the world of QR codes, scan to check the menu, also scan to pay. I don't think that's the right thing to say, but thanks to COVID, we've become more tech savvy. What is your experience with Isha?
So I truly agree to what you are saying, Ketki. So initially, when you say traditional service, that means you're picking up the phone and talking to the guest, talking and understanding their requirements. Being in the catering industry, this is very, very important. Nowadays, obviously, there are these automated phones, so where you don't need to talk, you have this message playing. So that's tech. You've got these, what you rightfully mentioned, the menus. That is again tech, where we miss the touch and feel of a paper. Then earlier we used to take like orders and write it by hand on the bill. Now it's all automated, and now we've got these aggregators like Talabat, Deliveroo, taking it up by storm. So this is a very big part of tech, which is going hand in hand with hospitality. It is like a very big part of the pie, I feel. And I mean, it's going for the better. It's not for the worse. And from where you start off and then you're progressing, I feel.
I 100% agree. For me, I call delivery business today technology personified. With the whole aggregators, the middlewares coming into the picture, it's just become very customer friendly. We can't take that away from the whole tech side. What's your experience, Mazen?
Yeah, I think as you mentioned, COVID has really changed all what the standards, what's acceptable, what's good to have, what's unique. Now they redefined many things that were taken as something very unique are now part of the expectation. And I think sometimes, when you stop and think this race to deliver things faster with the groceries online, where literally you can get things in 15 minutes. I mean, I always think if I want to go down, buy something and go up, it might take me 10 minutes. So this is really pushing convenience to the extreme. And I think we live in Dubai that is also by itself positioned as a place where, yes, we cater for your convenience from the laundry to the grocery. So it's something really good. Now, where to draw the line is really related to the business. So some businesses are purely can progress and grow by enabling or really betting on this technology. Others, especially in the hospitality, they still need the personal interaction. For example, for House of Pops, especially that we talk about values of being natural, healthy, I would never see in one of our kiosks a robot serving ice cream. This would be totally against what we do. So this is where it's very important to understand your consumers, your brand, their expectation, and use wisely this technology to fix the gaps, to make you more efficient, but not to take away from your unique selling proposition.
So that brings me to the next question, where we talk about, is our industry embracing technology? I would say yes, but we're not at the same pace or the same speed as the retail industry, right? Do you think the integration of technology is going in the direction of enhancing the guest engagement and their satisfaction? What do you think?
I think I might just pick up on the point regarding QR codes, which is a really interesting point, because I think we've mentioned before that COVID really, I guess, expedited the embracing of technology within many fields, specifically within hospitality, and QR codes was a great example that no one wanted to touch a physical menu. And everybody would pull out their phone, sit down at the table in a restaurant. First thing they do is pull out their phone, which is not very socially engaging, scan the QR code, and in many cases actually order the food. But what we found in Zubil House, in some of our restaurants, by observing the guests, we actually made the decision to remove QR codes from certain restaurants because it actually had a negative impact on the engagement between the colleagues and the guests. Because then the colleagues became reliant on the QR code for the guests to scan, to order, where actually when we removed the QR code, the engagement came back. People enjoyed touching the menu because that's a part of an experience. And I think as people, touch is something that's key. Do QR codes, do we still use them in the hotel? Yes, they have a place. Like with any technology, it has a place, but sometimes we introduce something from a technology perspective, but I think it doesn't mean we don't always keep it and it's going to be there forever. You know, technology keeps on evolving, the way we use it evolves, and especially within the hospitality industry, where human touch is so key, it's finding that balance between utilization of technology and keeping that personal element and personalization and personal touch.
So definitely, I agree to what you're saying. Like, service is an emotion. The human touch, you definitely need that. Forget about the physical menus. I want to see people. Isn't that what we missed during the whole lockdown and the COVID period? And now I think we just take that for granted, right? So if I just want to scan a QR code, order my own stuff, and go back home, I don't even know if that is an experience. And as operators or owners and founders, like, do I really want that? As a marketer, what am I going to speak? Who am I going to speak to if everything's going to be digital? But I still want people to come to my restaurants, still want people to come to the hotels and stay, right? So definitely the human touch is very, very important in this whole journey. What do you think, Mazen? Do you still think you want that human touch? You want people to talk to the customers?
Of course. I think especially in our business, it's extremely crucial. We have made choices to make sure that we use AI and technology to optimize our operations, but the facing of the customer is going to always have a person who can smile, who has empathy, who can, even because sometimes people, when they come to buy an ice cream or maybe to drink coffee, they look more, in my view, than getting just a product. All right, they come, and then also there will be kind of a relationship, connection with the barista or with the person who's giving the ice cream. They understand the flavors, but even beyond that, they chat. How's your day? Did you have fun? So this is very important to make the connection. So I think, yeah, in hospitality generally, there is a huge opportunity to optimize through the technology, but facing the customer, I don't see it getting out from that anytime soon.
So let's say when we talk about the home delivery or the delivery side of the business, I am sure the industry has embraced technology, say in terms of the enhancements in the POS systems, the middlewares coming into the picture, which makes your whole delivery process seamless. Your customers don't really see that, but it definitely impacts the whole customer journey. Less human errors, the faster delivery. I still remember back in 2013, we had a call center where people would take calls, punch in orders, and there were like 10 people in the call center as of now, we say, like, say 2 people in the call center to just see if the machines are doing their jobs. So it is definitely a balance. What is your take on that, Vidisha? Do we need to maintain that balance?
I really do feel, because again, I reiterate, in the catering line, in the food industry, customer is the key, and we need humans to deal with them. So we cannot have a robot, again, like how they said, he said that standing and a robot selling an ice cream. So it doesn't make sense. So when we cater to a party, we get very positive feedback, and people calling back and say that they want that same front of house staff, or they want that particular chef at their party, or the particular waiter at the party. So this is what is a connect. When they go, they also say, hi, hello, how are you? And they create an environment, a safe environment for them, that they feel that the party will be taken care of well. And that is why the repeat orders come, and that is the connect. That is what we are all here for, I feel.
100% Tushar. What is your take on that? The balance in technology and the whole human touch and the whole integration there?
I think as a business that is very much into customized products, I think relationship building is at the core of what we kind of do. When you're ordering a cake for a celebration, whether it's for your child or for your mom or your dad, it's a special moment that requires a certain emotional intelligence to really understand what you're looking for. So instead of having a 5 or 10-minute exchange for closing a transaction, it's a 30, 45-minute consultation where the customer service team member is really trying to understand your needs and wants, and then really servicing you at that point in time. How we translate that to tech is still a bit of a challenge. Obviously, face-to-face emotional intelligence is much easier to understand, gather, and communicate. Over the phone, we're still trying to figure that one out. But as I said before, Dubai's customer is, as you said, searching for convenience, and it has its own caveats. So you can close transactions faster over the phone, but maybe not as high of a ticket, which is in the store.
So do you have online ordering platforms on your website?
Yeah.
And how does the order flow? Does it go directly to the stores, or is there a human interaction there?
We have a customer service team that is centralized. So we have a call center, and we have our e-commerce platforms and the aggregators that get centralized to one location. That way we can streamline training and have, let's say, an even playing field in terms of the customer service that the customer is getting.
And what do you think from the hotel point of view? Do you think you can manage the balance there in the human touch and the tech? And is there anything that I know you said you've pulled out the QR codes, but is there something that you've implemented?
Yeah, I think that there's always going to have to be a balance, and I think any hotelier who thinks that technology is not going to have an impact on their business is going to be left behind. But Jumeirah was actually quite innovative, where over a year and a half, 2 years ago, we actually rolled out a program called eButler. So of course, when you think of a traditional butler, you think of somebody who's very personalized service, but the eButler platform is actually a butler service, but it's managed through WhatsApp, through iMessenger, through WeChat, where actually every guest in their pocket has access to the eButler service, where they can ask questions, ask for special requests. And definitely that is not to replace the physical interaction with the colleagues, which I think always has the biggest impact on the guest. But it's more about convenience, because at 6 o'clock in the morning, you may not want to, you've just woken up, you're looking a bit tired, you may not want to interact with somebody and ask them what time does the gym open. You just want to use technology to ask a quick question, to get an efficient, quick, speedy answer that's correct, that's accurate, that's timely, and then you can continue on. So it's that balance between using tech to, I guess, create a great guest experience and drive efficiency, but not to replace the interaction with people.
That's a great point. So we move on from the whole tech and human touch, and because we're talking tech and digital, how can we not talk about our favorite topic, AI and chatbots, and which we had in the previous session, I heard people talk about AI. In your respective industries, what do you think, do you think you can use AI to create more tailored experience for your customers? Maybe we start with Mazen.
Yeah, sure. So again, AI can analyze a lot of data and can save us a lot of time and can have stronger outputs from the data. We use it especially on our website because we work with the aggregators, but also we have our own platform on Shopify on our website. So when the person visits, if he logs into his account, then he will have suggestions. We use also their preferences in order to drive more personalized communication through email. So this is a bit on the front facing. On the back end, we use AI as a tool when we have new joiners coming in for their induction. We put all the information about the brand, the product, the price, and then through a chatbot that can be installed on their Telegram, let's say, then they can chat with that, because sometimes you would feel that people who are joining new, initially, yes, they will take the induction, they will take note, maybe a couple of months down the road, they might be shy to ask questions because they would assume that those are basics. And they would not know where to get this from. But then this makes it easy on the go, even for our salesmen when they go visit customers. if they have a specific question about an allergen, instead of calling the brand manager or the factory, they can just ask the chatbot. So it's extremely effective when it comes to also internal training and development. So we use it in this, but not much in facing the customer, because our model is still basic. You come, you choose your flavor, you have an ice cream. Maybe once we upgrade to a full-fledged store where consumers would come, they would interact with different medium, there might be more use of that. But currently, it's very basic what we do.
What do you think, Vidisha? Do you see AI playing any role in your business?
So currently, it's obviously at a very basic level. We're just using the automated messages for Instagram and WhatsApp, and we're using AI to draft maybe emails and beautiful profiles. You know, that is a back end. Again, it is not facing the customer, but it enhances and eases our way forward.
True. Tushar, AI plays a role in your business, or do you see it enhancing the whole customer journey?
Yeah, definitely. I think for customer facing, it's still a little bit risky. I think there are bugs here and there that still pop up in these language models, so I wouldn't be putting 100% of my eggs in that basket yet. But definitely on the back end, we have moved to Microsoft Dynamics, leveraging their recent acquisition with OpenAI. And hopefully across the different departments, when we have deployed Copilot, which is their AI program based on ChatGPT, I'm sure we'll be making a lot of strategic decisions based on the data output that comes out of any of those functions.
Great. And let's say, for me, I'll tell you what my take is, do I need a chatbot? I'm sure a very recent survey in the UAE said 9 out of 10 people hate chatbots in the UAE. But having said that, everyone's still selling us chatbots and the AI solutions. Is it relevant to every industry, every business? It all depends on the size of your business and what is it that you want your customer to experience. So let's say from a hotel point of view, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the AI train is coming, and you have to be ready to get on board or get left at the station. But it's how do you use the tool? And I think within hospitality, we're still looking at ways that we can really leverage such a powerful tool. And when we talk about personalization within hospitality, I think that's where AI will really come in, especially in relation to building up unique guest experiences by having access to specific information. You know, data mining or having data of your customer is something that's really key to provide bespoke products or bespoke services. But at the same point in time, GDPR and respecting people's privacy is something that we need to be very mindful of as well. But it'll be very interesting to see how it progresses within hospitality. But I think obviously marketing is a key part of hospitality, and I know that we will often seek advice from ChatGPT. How can we write us an attractive marketing spiel for a new brunch that's Asian inspired and driven by X, Y, and Z? And then often look at the response, fine tune it, put into another system like Grammarly to make sure that grammatically it's correct. And it really expedites a lot of these processes that otherwise would have taken more significant time. But at the end of the day, you need a person to put in the information.
Exactly.
Can I
to
challenge
verify.
one thing? Yeah, sorry. Can I challenge this I don't know how old is this study. About 9 out of 10 would not want to interact with this.
Last week.
No way.
And a survey was done by College Times, and this was probably on the first or the second page.
Because you know what? And in my mind, if I look at 2 years ago, a chatbot is like just like few sentences, like hello for interaction, for customer service type 1 if you want. But now with the development, like you would see even influencers on Instagram, purely AI, like they are not real. And they would talk and they would advertise for brands. I think the technology had advanced so far that I think anyone who's interacting with a good quality AI chatbot would be very satisfied. The only thing I think is that it should have the ability to, if the guy says, I would like to speak to a supervisor, then automatically to connect. But the basic experience, I think, is is very interesting. And if a good quality chatbot is there, I don't think 9 out of 10 would have an issue, my view.
But again, I think that brings us to the whole point of depends on what your need is. What industry are we talking about? Probably in the banking industry, for sure, what is my balance? What is my last 5 transactions? Definitely, a chatbot is definitely going to work. I still get frustrated. I want to speak to a customer service agent, right? We're in this industry where I'm a digital marketer. I still have pen and paper and not an iPad. It all depends on what personal choices are. And if it says 9 out of 10, it surprised me as well. And I was happy that I'm one of them because I still want to speak to a human, right? Which brings me to the next point. I asked my digital team at the hotel side and I said, if we implement a chatbot, what is it that you want to feed in? What is that feature that you want to give your customers an experience about? So they said, yeah, new customers, I want them to show all my features. A repeat customer who comes in, checks in, says, hey, last time you stayed in 109, do you want to stay there again? So basics, like you said, but does the industry need it? It all depends on that. I know we're running out of time. Last question here. On the data bit, how do you use data to connect with your customers? Tushar, do you have anything?
Yeah, so I think anyone who's using a CRM will tell you that you can do your customer bucketing and identification. We are currently having our CRM implementation going on. The idea being if you're calling in and you want to see your customer's purchase history or their delivery or their primary or secondary address where you want to be having your product delivered, these are things that give the customer a personal feel. You feel like the business is looking after you and you're far more likely to feel like you're involved with the brand rather than a simple, hi, hello. If someone picks up and they know your first name, asks you about your celebration this time last year, you're far more inclined to be comfortable with that conversation and transaction.
100%. Mazen, do you use data?
Yeah, so once we know so again, it's all connected to our CRM. So we use all the people, for example, what they have sold, and we could send them emails, hey, we know you tried Domingo, why don't you try this one again? So this is really good. But also one very fun experience is that when you put all the sales data across channel by day, by month, by event, by customer, and feed it to the AI or to ChatGPT or to those models, then getting some sales data could be very interesting. Like instead of going into pivot table, etc., you can tell them how many mangoes I sold in February in that event, and then automatically it comes. It's so nice and it's so fun. And yeah, so we spend our time analyzing the data, taking actions based on the data rather than running to find the numbers.
I believe that if you collect data, use data. If you're not going to use data, just don't bother the customers. I'm tired of filling in my name, number, email address. We're done, right? Say for you guys, I'm sure you have a loyalty program.
Yeah, so within Jumeirah, we have the Jumeirah One loyalty program, which really allows us to create more of a bespoke experience, both from a F&B culinary perspective, but also obviously from a rooms perspective as well. The objective of our team, whenever we have somebody checking in or visiting one of our F&B outlets for the first time, is to enroll them, to connect them to our system, to get as much information from them as possible. But more to, again, it comes down to this personalization. By getting the right data from our guests and customers, we can personalize a better experience and target them with information that's more relevant to them, as opposed to the traditional just spamming and sending lots of information, which I think is still quite common practice, especially within this region.
Thank you so much. And I guess that was a very interactive session.